Hey, what's up, fam? For those who have been reading Fire Force, I didn't do one on chapter 131 because it was kind of slow and boring. There wasn't really much to talk about. It was mostly just kind of some characters discussing some things. So I wanted to wait until the next chapter, chapter 132, the one that just came out a little while ago, to go over kind of both at the same time. I figured there'd be a little bit more to kind of to glance over and gloss over, kind of like give my opinion. The only thing really that happened in 131 that was kind of funny is while Shinra, the main character, was going to see this new invention that Vulcan made. There was this new girl that showed up, and he ended up like poking her in the tits because he thought she was some form of machine. But really, just what he made was just some new blender. It wasn't anything really important. The more bigger thing, more bigger, the more important thing really to kind of happen in these last few chapters are um, the revelations of the Hajima company that the main character Shinra was kind of brought to at one point as a kid. They were trying to study him to figure out stuff about his Adora Burst, his connection towards this other realm, and the preacher who is some mysterious being who some people worship as a god, and that were revealed at the end of chapter 131 that Victor Licht is a spy. He's not on the side of the Eighth Fire Brigade branch, and but he actually turns out he is not on anyone's side, and he doesn't want to. They want him to bring Shinra, the main character, to this company because they want him for his connection to the Adora, and because Victor doesn't want to really do that, the company instead wants to kill him. They want the Adora, but they're not willing to let other people have him if they can't have him. But during this chapter, what was kind of comedically done is Victor goes and he gathers up the members of the Eighth Brigade, and he informs them that he's actually a spy, and that he's working for Hajime, and that he's not really their ally. But what was funny that kind of is shown is the Eighth Brigade already knew this. Already knew that he was a spy. He's already kind of shady. He doesn't seem much like a friend, and they are able to figure it out a while ago. I wasn't expecting that. I thought there would be one of those like anime reaction moments where like, oh, holy crap, the guy's a spy. But it's just like, no, it was kind of obvious, man. You're kind of fucking weird. But what he kind of reveals to them is the company was so salty and kind of upset that they missed their chance with Shinra, and it was shortly after he left their facility that he unlocked his connection to the Adora that their scientific methods became a lot more aggressive and a lot more radical. And now the children left there are getting more heavily experimented on, and this shows with the a kid that was shown at the end of one of the previous chapters and is shown in this one. His name's Nataku, and it looks like he's going to be going through some form of combat exercise. It's going to fight this guy who goes by the name Shinigami. Shinigami, god of death. He's this guy with this weird black arm and these irisless eyes. It's just like pale white eyes. Where this is going, maybe they're trying to artificially figure out a way to connect somebody to the Adora. They're trying to figure out a way to do it without the natural process of these people that are apparently chosen to do it by the preacher, which could open a lot of doors for the future of the series and future characters, especially when it comes to something like Theodora seems to give people absurd, radically boosted powers, like the main character. For those who don't read the series but are checking this out because they saw this video, is the main character's power is he can shoot flames out of his feet, and he can condense them to where they're like rockets and he can fly, or he can use them to propel himself to like kick people. But with the Adora, burst, he can accelerate himself to the point where he can actually move at the speed of light, as well as his brother's also member of the people that have this Adora power, and with his he can kind of forcefully aid to the expansion of the universe. Because like they kind of explain how after the Big Bang, the universe is always expanding, and time affects I believe they said time effects are affected differently dependent on where you are from the center of the universe or something weird. But he kind of uses heat to like expand space around him in a weird way that it makes time flow differently for him for he can move much faster, not from like a speed boost, but because time. Whereas somebody like might experience 10 seconds, for him it might be like 1,000 seconds. So he's able to move at a much more rapid speed, only because he's pretty much given a larger amount of time to do things. He perceives time differently. It's kind of weird. They did this long sciencey explanation. I'm not going to pretend like I'm going to be able to oh, I can read or remember that off the top of my head. I can't. I'm sure there's somebody that can, but not me. But just like the way that this Adora seems to give some absurd power boost and absurd advancement in what their abilities are. But they're kind of discussing all these characters are kind of discussing, what are we going to do? Are we going to go in? Are we going to try and infiltrate this group, try and see what they're doing, try and see what's going on? But Shinra, as he is, wants to be a hero, and he's not willing to let a bunch of children go go and be tested upon in pain and tortured. And as he says in the panel that I'm using as the background for this recording, what kind of hero, um, can't protect children, And so they're going out to set and infiltrate into the Haijima company, and it looks like they're going to try and rescue these kids that are being tested upon. The same place that Shinra was at from when they took him in at 5, and where he couldn't control his powers, and they tested on him a lot. He kind of talks about how he remembers how cold it was because his fire power stems from his feet, so they made him wear nitroglycerin shoes. They just kind of looked like these big crates with like these little tiny stubs on them there, and he's literally has his feet inside nitroglycerin because the amount of heat he was constantly like blasting out of his feet. But it looks like they're about to get into another really cool arc. I keep saying, I keep stuttering, but they're gonna be battling now from going from villains now going against this corrupt group that instead of having a bunch of bad guys like where they had the what were they called, the Church of the Holy Sun, I believe that they're called, the cult that worships the sun and wants to turn the planet into another sun. Which were just like more of a psychotic cultist villains. Now it looks like we're going to be going against this company with their genetically modified people or extremely dangerous individuals who can't control their powers or have some really crazy power that can't be known to the public. We're going to get some weird science experiment type characters and fights. It's going to be, I think it'll be pretty good. There hasn't been a whole lot going on combat-wise in a while for this series, other than Shinra fighting that horned combustion person, one of the demon ones, where he like went and like light speed kicked him out of the area. It was pretty cool, I gotta say. This is a thumbs up series. I want more people to check this out. This is by the guy who made Soul Eater. If you can't tell by the art, this guy has a really weird art style, especially when he gets into some of the panels that are more warped. Like he has like these crazy like demonic looking ones. He shows this other realm where this character, the preacher, is, and you got like these moons everywhere with like giant jarring eyes and like skeletal pieces popping out of the ground, drawn like in this Nightmare Before Christmas meets manga style. It's really cool. Check this out. I recommend it. The main character's pretty cool too, and they kind of got like this version, a character who is kind of like Black Star from Soul Eater, but he wants to be a knight, but he's like dumb as dirt. He has an IQ, I think it's like 75 or something ridiculous. But anyway, check out my other videos, like, favorite, subscribe. I currently have the one and only full chapter review of Eden Zero, the new manga by Hiro Mishima, on my channel. I'm trying to work on some other videos right now. I want to do some like character versus character matches. I'm just trying to find a good person to do it with. I already got everything picked out, and the rules established. I gotta just find somebody to kind of debate and discuss with. But uh, anyway, it's Saturday. I feel like I've been awake all day, but it's only 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But I hope you have a good day and the rest of the good weekend, and rolling up to um, hopefully with some more good chapters this week, and the official release of Eden Zero to the world. So, thank you very much,